People visit Colonial Days for a number of reasons, but a main draw to the event each year is the tasty treats the vendors are selling. Megan Willis had a chance to sample some of the items being served up and explains that the fair food is just as good as always.
Walking into the fairgrounds, your eyes automatically go towards the bright lights and spinning rides. But the aroma of the fair food can be smelled even before you enter the gates.
The food is definitely a draw. A lot of people do come to the fair just for the food because it's different food. It's not items you can make at home because it's special equipment that makes the ribbon fries or the elephant ears. Here, give it a try.
But as Oni said, some foods are more popular than others, depending on your age group.
Well, for the adults and the teenagers, of course, it's the Wiggle chips. And then for the kids, you know, they love the snow cones, the cotton candy, ice cream, especially in this hot weather we're having.
Today I got a chance to try my hand at making some fair food, and with some help from an expert, I attempted to cook a crepe.
You let it cook now, and then it'll get nice and crispy around the edges.
Okay.
So it'll be delicious.
Smells good already.
Yes.
Not bad for my first time.
Well, they're portable, they're delicious, and they look great when they're walking down the fair, around the Midway. And as you look around, there's not a lot of crepes around, so it's an unusual product to come to a fair.
Whether it's deep-fried foods or sweet treats, there's sure to be something at Colonial Days to cater to your taste buds.
Well, when you've eaten as much food as I have today, it's hard to remember that Colonial Days also offers rides, concerts, and games. One thing's for sure, you won't be leaving here hungry. Megan Willis, Newcap News.
Not a bad gig that she had today. All right, well, Dragonette stopped by Colonial Days last night to say hello. The Canadian band performed on the grandstand stage at the Lloyd Exhibition Grounds to kick off the fair. And once again, Megan Willis reports that the band was excited to be in the border city.
Fans went wild with excitement as the electro-pop trio hit the stage last night to play their first ever show in Lloydminster.
Being Canadian and being a Canadian band playing in Canada is really cool, and and even like coming here, it gives us this reminds us of what Canada is, you know, and it's easy to, as being a Torontonian, to imagine that Canada ends like west of the airport in Toronto, and it's good to be reminded of that.
The band took time to sign autographs and take pictures with fans lined up outside the stage before beginning the show.
Step right on up, make this dream come true. Well, if we put you go right in the middle between Joel and Tina. Right there you go.
Touring hard this summer, the band has plans of making their way across Canada from coast to coast.
It's harder than doing nothing and sitting on your couch, yes. But we're used to it.
True.
And you get into a flow of it, and it just is what... I mean, I never go home from tour and think, oh my God, I can't handle that, that was too much.
Maybe when we turn 25, it's gonna like really start to get to us.
The Toronto band, formed in 2005, has released 3 albums and say their music has developed over the years.
I think the first time you write songs as a band, you don't have, let's say, the pressure of like writing an album to follow the album that you put out as a real band, and now you're a real band and whatever. So in that capacity, I think it changes it a little bit. You got to like write a song that maybe might get on the radio or something.
Dragonette played in Calgary for Stampede earlier this week and have decided to donate all their profits from their CD and t-shirt sales to the Alberta flood relief. Megan Willis, Newcap News.
A brain injury survivor is giving back to a local organization that's helped him in his own recovery. Now, this afternoon, Curtis Anderson presented a check for nearly $1,000 to Labus. The Lloydminster organization provides support for people with brain injuries and their families.
We fundraise at least half of our money to keep this organization running, and the donations from the community and the fundraising is just awesome. It's what keeps us going.
Curtis Anderson is the founder of the annual Courage Canada Trail Ride. This year there were 72 riders on horseback plus 55 riders in wagons.
Being a survivor, that every outing is good, and it's the money just is going to Labus for survivors to go on more outings or just to get out more.
Money raised from the ride went to support 4 different brain injury centers in Alberta. Take news now. There's plenty of agricultural fun for the whole family at this year's Colonial Days. As Kyle Galver reports, if you're looking for something a bit more interactive, the Country Lane exhibit is right up your alley.
Everything agriculture is on display at the Lloyd X grounds. And if you're looking for something interactive for the little ones, Country Lane might be your spot.
We have numerous displays that the kids are able to work around, and we have staff that will answer any questions. We have everything from computers to hands-on.
The idea is to get kids familiar with the farming process so they have a better understanding of where all their food comes from.
We'd like the youth to know that there's animals, and that when you go to the grocery store, it starts with the animals, it starts with the farmer, and we're all able to enjoy them.
For Mona Smith and her kids, Country Lane has become a bit of a Colonial Days tradition.
For years now, it's been our kids' kickoff, as they always start out at the barley pit ever since they were little, and now they're 11 and 8, and it's just where they like to start their day at the fair.
I played in the barley pit and looked at the animals and everything.
One of the most popular attractions at Country Lane is the fantastic petting zoo. It opens at 1 p.m. daily and gives people of all ages the chance to get up close and personal with their favorite barnyard animals.
My favorite animal is probably the horse, like the miniature pony. My favorite part so far has been seeing the animals and the ponies.
Well, between the petting zoo and the chicks hatching, which is an ongoing thing for all 4 days of Colonial Days, they're huge hits.
And while the petting zoo isn't for everyone,
They're much braver than myself. They pick up chickens, and they like to see the ducks and the rabbits, and no, they enjoy all of it.
Country Lane is.
They like that it's in a building, it's safe, there's hand washing facilities within the building, and they can watch 2 kids at the same time, and everybody is contained.
Country Lane is open from 10 to 10 daily. Kyle Gallagher, Newcap News.